Hi, welcome to the latest edition of The Voice. I have in the studio with me today Brett Ennals, who is the CEO and founder of Cento recruitment consultancy.
Yep.
Brett, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us a bit about yourself and about Cento.
Well, if you don't know me, I'm Brett Ennals. I am the CEO, founder of Cento. We are a recruitment business focused on the security and building services sector. Based in the UK, have been for 20 years. Recently started to move into the US and more global market, and recently acquired SCW Consulting based out of Denver to give us a footprint in the US market.
Excellent stuff. What sort of trends are you seeing at the moment within the security sector for recruitment?
To summarise that, I would say everybody's hiring. No, everyone's recruiting, but not everyone's hiring. That way around. Everyone's recruiting, but everyone's hiring. So everybody's looking for people. There's a huge skills shortage. Everybody goes on about the skills shortage, but people need to hire. They're recruiting, but they're not necessarily hiring. They're looking for the perfect candidate, and the methods of recruiting could be improved. Let's just say that.
Are you seeing a sort of a change in the way that people are doing their recruiting nowadays? I mean, is it LinkedIn, social media?
Yeah, it's social media. People are putting posts on social media. You know, if we look at the engineering world, right, more than anything, because that's where the volume is, if you like. If you look at the market, the volume's in engineering. So people are putting posts on social media saying I'm looking for an engineer in Manchester. I'm looking to pay, mid-30s salary. You get 20 days holiday, day off for your birthday, a company van. Yeah, it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and everybody's doing it, and it's just white noise. And I'm sure someone would criticise me and say they're getting excellent results out of it, but I doubt it very much. The days of people applying for jobs has long gone. Again, when we started 20 years ago, our website at the time, Fire and Security Jobs, people were applying for jobs in them days, and every day we'd come in and we'd sift through all the, job applies. I would say now job applicants you can count, on the fingers of one hand. So if you again, everyone's recruiting, not everyone's hiring. If you're looking at the social media posts, people need to think outside the box to try and get to their audience.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of adverts out there, but the reason why nobody's actually recruiting, or nobody's hiring rather, is that because there's a lack of talent in the
yes.
Say talent of that. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but is there a shortage of skilled people to fill those roles?
So that's there's been a skill shortage for a long time. And everybody goes on about the skill shortage, and quite rightly, it's a huge factor. But the talent pool is shrinking. It's shrinking for a lot of reasons. So I reckon that there's 60% of the engineering workforce out there have now gone contract. So post-COVID, everyone's looking for a work-life balance, and believe it or not, despite being in a 24-hour industry, nobody wants to do call-out. So they've then gone from being employed and gone into subcontract. So I reckon 60% are in subcontract now. You've then got, say, 30% are comfortable in the role they're in. They're comfortable with their current employer. And then you've got an active talent pool of about 10%. And so the posts on LinkedIn, the posts on social media or job boards or whatever it might be, is basically trying to feed into that 10%. The actual talent pool in even the whole workforce of the UK and globally, I suppose, is shrinking. That's due to a low birth rate, 20 odd years ago, and you've got lots of people retiring. And so everything's going to get worse before it gets better. So everyone's recruiting, not they're hiring, is because everyone's looking for people, but the competition to get those people and get them on board is completely different now.
Yeah.
It's completely different. It's how you go about that And I'm not just saying about because I'm in recruitment. It's not just my company, but it's other recruitment companies as well. How you go about that is the big differentiator as to whether you're going to be successful in recruiting or not. And there's two. I always say there's two levels of candidates: those that are on the market and those that are in the market. And the ones that people actually want are in the market, but they're not actively looking.
Yeah.
So.
And that's where our industry is very much built on networking.
Absolutely.
And it's
100%.
Knowing those people and those personal recommendations.
Yeah.
Knowing the characters that you're putting in.
Yeah.
And recommending for a role.
Yeah.
It's so essential to have.
It's all about your network. Yeah. Everything's about your network. Yeah, without a doubt. And so again, just those social media posts aren't enough to crack your hiring problems.
Yeah. So it's got to be multifaceted, really.
Absolutely.
You're talking about obviously the people that are retiring at the top, the lack of people coming in at the bottom. Do you think that we're potentially leaving it too late when people are coming into the industry? We want to be targeting maybe kids in schools and teaching them and educating them about what an amazing place the security sector is for them working. Yeah.
So, again, for a long, long time, everyone's gone about the skills shortage and not enough people coming into the industry. And there has been some very proactive stuff done with skills for security and people taking on apprentices to get people into the industry. But the other part of it is educating young folk in schools and colleges. Again, is now something that's talked about by everybody, but I would say nobody's actually really doing it. And then again, I would say every industry's got a skills shortage, not just the security industry, every industry, accountancy or whatever it might be. All right, so to get people into the security industry, you're then competing with the other industries at the school and college level. So that is something that needs to be a bit more proactive. The other side of that is the perception of the security industry. So again, if most people come into the industry, I did. You probably did, by default or by chance.
Career.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Second career. But it's the perception of the industry. So if you say to someone at a dinner party, for argument's sake, I work in the security industry, straight away the perception is a security guard, not there's anything wrong with them, but a security guard at a shopping centre.
Because that's the visible thing.
That's the visible thing. We're in an invisible industry.
Yeah.
So, CCTV, access control, it's all around us. It has to happen. But nobody, unless you're in the industry, pays any attention to it.
Yeah.
So it's educating people that this industry exists, and it's educating the people that there's fantastic career paths in this industry. A lot of us have been in it for a long, long time, and carved fantastic careers and been to some fantastic places, different countries. There's so much you can do and achieve in this industry, and that's the message that needs to get across. Who delivers the message is the big question.
Yeah, for sure. Are you seeing a sort of a skills shift as well in the engineers that you're looking to recruit now, that they're moving away from the sort of screwing a box on a wall kind
100%.
of skill set to more of a technology software based?
The lines are blurred, I think, now from a security industry, the traditional security industry, into IT, IoT, smart buildings and everything else. And then again, if you look at the wider building services sector, again, we service the wider building sector, or have gone into the wider building services sector. A lot of these lines are starting to blur now. And that's the skill set, I think, going forward, is the security industry got to start to employ people that are at programming level, and enterprise level, and not just fixing physical hardware to walls.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. And I think we're going to see a big shift in that in the next 2 to 3 years. And the people that will lead, be ahead of the curve, be the ones that are starting to embrace that now.
Yeah. No, you can definitely feel with the whole AI, the shift, and the biometrics and all of this software and technology that's starting to come in now. The expectation on engineers is that they need to know.
They're going to need to know that
works.
stuff. Yeah, they're going to need to be doing programming level.
Yeah.
Again, years and years ago, not to keep going about age and whatever, but when I joined the industry, it was you went from repairing things to component level to then board swapping. So no one spent the time, going down to component level to see whether, transistor, a capacitor, a resistor had gone on a board and repairing it at board level. You just swapped boards out and moved on, or you swapped out a PIR or a CCTV camera or whatever it is, and you moved on. And the next phase is then down to programming level.
Yeah, no, it's you can definitely feel.
Yeah. It's moving. 100% is moving. Yeah,
definitely. So you guys are part of the BSIA.
Yes.
How does it feel for you to be an affiliate member of the BSIA?
It's a lot different now to it was when we first joined. So I think we joined in 2010. It was completely different then. And again, in all honesty, we probably joined for the badge.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. And we joined for a bit of credibility, I suppose. We were still a very young company at the time. But the past few years, it's been more proactive, I would say, than it's ever been. Hence sitting here, right? So, and again, there's forums, golf days. As with all things in life, that you get out what you put in. And so the BSIA, from my viewpoint, has now become more proactive, not reactive, and is offering a lot more benefit for us.
Oh, that's really good to hear. So we're delighted to have you on board, obviously. What's next on the horizon for Cento? What have you got coming down the tracks?
For us, it's again, it's there's still more stuff we can do in the UK, but also expanding globally, in particular into the US market. So the synergies between the two markets are very, very similar. Mm-hmm. They move exactly the same. The terminology is very, very similar, and the same manufacturers and same routes to market. So we're going after the US market, and again, recently just made an acquisition of a company in Denver that's been servicing the security industry for recruitment for 26 years. So that's given us a good foothold there, and that's the next big push. My next big push. My last big push.
Oh, don't say that. You're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for joining us in the studio
today. I really
today.
appreciate having me, yeah.
It's been great catching up with you, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.